Hey everybody, Yankee here. You know, SHOT Show 2025 is underway, and one gun that seems to be making a lot of waves that I've had a lot of people send me questions about is the new KelTec PR57 or PR57. I'm not sure exactly how they say it. Now, this gun has a lot of people excited. And I will say, there is a lot of reasons to be excited about this gun. It's very cool in very many ways. I like the design of it, for one. I like that rounded off slide. It kind of looks modern and sci-fi, yet still retro at the same time. So I really do like the looks of it. I also like the fact that it uses a rotating barrel. I'm a big fan of rotating barrels. I love them in the PX4 Storm and the other Berettas that use them. Just a really big fan of that design feature. I think it does help mitigate recoil. Now, it doesn't do it a lot, no, just a little. But since this gun is chambered in 5.7x28, another reason to be kind of excited about it for some people. Not a lot of carry guns in 5.7x28. But like I said, since it is 5.7x28, not a whole lot of recoil to mitigate. So I think the combination of that caliber with a gun this size with a rotating barrel will actually be pretty cool, design-wise. Also, the feature of this gun that is the most exciting to a lot of people is the fact it doesn't use a magazine. It actually loads with clips. Remember how it used to be on the forums when you'd say, oh, my gun has a 15-round clip, and people would be like, it's not a clip, it's a magazine. Well, there actually is a difference. You know, people aren't just being pedantic, being annoying. There is a difference between loading with a clip and loading with a magazine. Magazines are actual detachable box magazines is what they're usually called. Clips don't actually go in the gun, stay in the gun. They just load the gun and then come out. And this gun uses that. And I'll talk more about that in a few minutes because that's another aspect of this gun I want to talk about. But right now, let's talk about the gun itself. And is this going to be a good gun? It's got all these nice features. Well, in reality, no. It's not going to be a good gun. It's going to be crap. It's a Kel-Tec. Anyone that tells you Kel-Tecs aren't hot garbage is a liar or a shill. Probably both. They're kissing Kel-Tec's ass for some reason. I guess there's probably a financial incentive for that. Because I can't believe anybody that has any real knowledge of firearms or manufacturing would think they're good. Even the people that made them, that started the company, knew they weren't good. Their whole philosophy was, let's produce cheaply made firearms that are just total hot garbage for people who probably will never even shoot their guns. They'll probably go in drawers. People are looking for a cheap solution to having a gun around when you need one. This will be it. It'll go in a desk drawer, nightstand, never ever be used, in a trunk, whatever. And for the 5 to 10% of people that do shoot it, we'll make them so cheaply that we can repair them 2 or 3 times, maybe even replace them, and still make a big profit. And then those people will just give up on the gun and sell it off to somebody else. So that's been their whole business model all along. And lately they've started making some really cool designs. And unfortunately, people that are gun people have tried to make them serviceable, buy them and try to see if they work. And generally, here's the answer, they do not work. They all have that very nice self-disassembly feature, which makes them very easy to clean after you take them to the range, because you just clean the pieces. But then unfortunately, those pieces don't actually go back together most of the time. So they are stuck in a place now where they're making guns people actually want to work, but they're not really working. So they're trying to build a little bit better guns, but so far I haven't seen them do it. Once they do it, believe me, I'll be the first person to say, yeah, because they have very cool designs. Unfortunately, their execution sucks. It's terrible. It's cheaply made, poorly made. They don't even do cheap well. They do cheap in the worst way possible. And until that changes, none of their guns are going to be any good. They're all garbage. And anybody who wants to come on and try to tell me different, please come on and try to tell me different. Come on one of my chats, do a spank the yank, try to show me where a Kel-Tec ain't garbage. Because if you're in a situation where you're not just trying to sell it for money with no one actually countering anything you say, yeah, then you might be able to sell one. But if you got someone that actually knows anything about firearms actually debating you on it, I know you ain't going to have a point to be made. The only point will be the one on top of your head if you actually think they're good. But like I say, like I was saying, they're a great design. Kel-Tec does some very innovative designs, very cool designs. They just don't execute them well. So this gun will be hot garbage. Make no qualms about it. Have no qualms about it. It will be garbage. Now, guns like this one, I always think, wow, I can't wait till someone like Ruger makes it again. You know how like when they did the LCP based off the little Kel-Tecs, they made it a lot better. And they do that every now and then. They'll take a design from someone like Kel-Tec, make it better once it's public domain. So hopefully this will happen with this gun. So hopefully a manufacturer that knows how to make it and will make it well will start producing it because it is a cool gun. And mostly because of that clip loading system. There's not a lot of clip loading guns around. And you might be asking, well, why are they doing that? Well, it's to skirt capacity laws. You know, most capacity laws in most states say your gun can't accept a magazine of 10 rounds or more. Now, some of them do say clips. They do include clips, that your gun can't accept a magazine or clip. And no, the clip doesn't have to stay in the gun. It just has to be able, the gun has to accept the clip of 10 rounds or more. But here's the thing. They don't make a 20 round magazine. It holds 20, but the clips are actually 10 rounds each. So this gun would not fall under the capacity restrictions because you only have 2 clips, each 10 rounds. You can put 1 in or you can put 2 in. So the gun itself can hold 20 rounds, but not through a clip that exceeds 10 rounds and not through a magazine, period. So it does kind of skirt those laws. Now, a lot of people say, well, they should be given kudos for this, just trying to do this. And to a degree, they should be. But here's the thing. I don't like shit like this. Because this is kind of like, pistol braces. Because pistol braces becomes a big industry. And then people started fighting for the right for people to make pistol braces. Spending lots of money on court cases about pistol braces. Spending our money. Big gun organizations spending our money to fight for these small manufacturers who make pistol braces, who line their pockets with cash. And that took money away from the real fight, which should be, we should be fighting the laws against stocks. Or about SBRs. We should be getting rid of the NFA. That should be the real fight. If all that money that was spent trying to defend pistol braces had been spent on that, we'd probably be a lot further along in that right now. But people get duped into fighting for the profitable fight, not the actual, true fight. And this is kind of like that situation. Because is this gun a viable alternative to people who live in states where there's magazine restrictions? No. This is not a good gun. Don't carry this gun just because you can have more rounds. Doesn't matter if there's 9 rounds left in your gun when it explodes or 19. You're still screwed. So this is not a viable alternative. If you lived in a state that had magazine restrictions, still carry a gun with 10 rounds. Get yourself a revolver with, 6, 8 rounds of .357 Magnum. Far better than this piece of junk. So it isn't providing an alternative to people who live in states that have capacity laws. It's just making a statement. It's just trying to create a buzz. And it's done that. And I like that it created a little buzz. Maybe people will start fighting back against capacity restrictions more. Because they'll be like, wait, I can only have 10 rounds or I can have this piece of garbage? Well, let's fight to get me more than 10 rounds in good guns. But as far as, like I said, I don't think we should be trying to skirt those laws. I think we should be actively fighting them. And when you try to skirt them and you try to create these little, if you can't have a 20-round Glock, well, you can have this 20-round Kel-Tec. That's not the same thing. That's not an alternative. So I fear things like this distract people. Like, wow, now we don't got to fight against the law because now maybe other manufacturers will make guns that take 2 10-round clips. Well, here's the thing. It's not hard for them to change the law to include a combination of clips that equals 20 rounds. Or a gun that's capable of harboring 20 rounds, or more than 10 rounds, whatever. So the laws can easily be adjusted for this little workaround. So unless you get rid of the laws themselves, well, then you haven't really taken care of business. You haven't gotten rid of the injustice. So I think it'd be far more important for us to be fighting against capacity laws than trying to make workarounds, because workarounds are easy to counter. You saw how quickly they banned pistol braces there for a while and made it to where everybody's afraid to put pistol braces on things. And plus, pistol braces are a poor solution to the actual problem. I'd rather have an actual stock, just like I would rather have a gun that had true standard capacity magazines and not have to use a couple of clips to simulate that, especially not in a crappy gun. But even if they made good guns that took the clips, I'd rather have one 20-round magazine than two 10-round stripper clips. Something that you still got to, I don't want to lose this after I load it. I got to put this away, that kind of thing. So I don't think it's a good alternative or a good solution to capacity limit laws. And I don't think it's a good gun because it is a Kel-Tec. It will be garbage. However, like I said, the design is cool. The features are cool. I like the rotating barrel. I like everything about it. I like the caliber. I'm a 5.7x2.8 fan, even though I don't think it's the best caliber. I'm a fan. I like it. I like the way it shoots. I like the way it performs. I'm a fan. That's not saying it's great. That's just saying I personally like it. So there is a lot to like about this gun. And the fact that it used clips, well, that's, almost educational for some people who aren't familiar with clips anymore because, they're hardly used nowadays. So there's a little bit of education there. And like I said, it does bring awareness to the capacity limit laws. So maybe people will start fighting them. But as far as being a solution to the restrictions or a viable alternative to being able to carry much better guns, no, it isn't that. It is basically a poorly made novelty that, like I said, is pretty cool. But other than that, there's really not much to this gun that's really worth paying much attention to.